Hey guys, I just wanted to talk about how successful playing Elise support has been recently for me and how it can basically push you up the ladder so easy. I've gone from Diamond 4 to mid Diamond 1 in about 4 days playing this pick. I kind of stick with Electrocute most of the time, and just to give you a bit of context, I didn't start recording early enough. We actually got first blood in the enemy jungle at top side, so Zaya has started off with a kill this game. But I just wanted to talk about this pick more because I think it's really under the radar, and it's been so consistent for me. I'll put my op.gg up on the screen at some point in this video. Now, the kind of game plan at level 1 is to just do a little quick auto attack, Q auto attack. It's pretty consistent, it procs some nice damage, and as you can see here, I'm just trying to whittle them down for level 2. Now, when you're playing at least jungle, you usually go W and then into Q. However, I found in lane Q, because it's guaranteed, point and click damage, it's easy, and then I go for E level 2 for the cocoon stun. You can use Q in spider form to engage and then repel away, and it's just so easy to proc some electrocute damage early. So you can see here, I'm just trying to trade. This is currently Diamond 2 right now, I think. I played a few games after this and then got to Diamond 1 and whatever, but yeah. So right now we're just trading, nothing exciting's happening. But this is kind of how the game starts off with, at least most of the time. Sometimes if it's like Draven, you got to be really careful and play it safe. But as you can see here, once the cocoon lands, you're pretty much guaranteed a kill. Your ADC should be able to follow up. And the ruin, I don't know what you call it, the minor ruin, I always forget the names of them, but cheap shot is insane in this build. Like, the cheap shot cocoon, once you land a stun, your damage output is so good. And the repelling back and forth from fights means that you can play really aggressive plays. So anyway, I'm resetting after helping shove in the wave. My Zaya's pretty happy. Now, usually here, I'll go for boots or sometimes seal, depending on how the lane's going. Because they've used their summoner spells, I guess I wanted to go for seal at this point, but boots is completely fine too. I always try and path. You see how I'm going in between mid and bot? That's just because with this build, you're trying to roam and make plays as much as possible. But it's really tough to balance, the only go if you're pretty much guaranteed a kill or a force flash. So I'm just moving here as usual. Also prepared to kind of contest this skull, but you see, as I've got here quite lucky, I can now put some pressure on this what's she called? Nami. So I'm just playing, trying to be a nuisance. Now, the thing with Elise support as well is you won't get as much damage as the jungle, obviously, because you won't get your items, but you're trying to be a nuisance as much as possible. Trying to do some quick burst damage, soak up as much damage for your team as possible, and then repel into safety. And I think that's the difficult thing about playing Elise right now in support, is that you are really squishy and you have to balance absorbing the damage but not dying. So it's quite a tough pick, but if you can land it correctly, I think in the past 20 games I've won like 16 or something, just from playing this pick. So as you can see, I've gone boots, control ward, and I always go for the refillable potion, just because the value and Elise is quite squishy. We're trying to stay on the map as long as possible and just be a nuisance. So I'm going back to lane, and right now we're just chilling out. But yeah, I'm more than happy to answer any questions about this pick. If you have any, questions, how it works, how the combos work, all that stuff. I played Elise for like over 9 seasons, and I was top 3 Elise in the US at one point in the jungle. So I've played her quite a while and have pretty good knowledge on her. But I think people are still playing her jungle, whereas right now there's just so many champions that beat her in the jungle, it's just not worth it. But the support item is so good on her, the Bloodsong one. And as you can see again, as long as I land a cocoon, we go all in. I'm trying to take as much damage as possible, trying to shove that Twitch away, and it just works out every time. Now, because I'm on good health, I'm trying to do a dive here. This is another great thing about Elise support. You can literally dive under tower and it's free. I noticed the jungler there, so I just backed straight off. There's also some other little hidden tricks that you'll see with Elise in a minute and why she's so good as support. I'll talk about like the Rift Herald and stuff later, how you can cheese it by yourself. And it's just, she offers so many things that many kind of conventional supports just can't do. It's great. I think it's such an underrated pick, and people should give it a shot. As well, it's really fun to play. Like, it's such a fun, Elise is such a fun champion, especially when you get ahead and you can just run around like nuking people. And then it's like, a support shouldn't be able to do this, you know? Unless you're Pyke, of course. So playing as well, like recently, if there's any champions I can think of that I've struggled with, Seraphine's been a bit of a trouble because the wave clear, so that's just someone to know about. Maokai can be a bit of a pain if people know how to play him, because he's just so tanky that he can just, you know, take all your burst. But as long as you play it right and kind of focus on the ADC, you'll usually win that matchup anyway. So yeah, it's been pretty chill right now. That's the only Seraphine's been the only one that I've really struggled with right now. Now, with Elise, it's really important if you're learning her, I would say, to just be like throwing your cocoons, playing really aggressive. You will probably lose most of your games, but you'll be learning your limits as Elise, and that is the important part, just testing yourself. And as you can see here, I'm just trying to keep control of the brushes, because as Elise, this is your strongest point. And I kind of want the enemy to think that Xayah's by herself. The more I can do that, the better position I'll be in to like pull off a kill for Xayah. Sometimes you'll want to take the kills, sometimes you'll want to just get your ADC fed, just kind of base it off the team comp, what the enemy's playing, if your ADC needs the kills or if they're better on you, you know? So again, I'm just providing pressure, and it's not that bad if you miss your cocoons. You can just go back and play a bit defensive for like 10 seconds. Treat it like a fresh hook or a blitzcrank grab, you know? But yeah. Right now, nothing's going on. We're just playing the game. So you see, as soon as I miss and I want to go defensive, I just repel away. Now, this is the only real downside to Elise, is that if you use your repel, you're kind of out of the game for a while, for 20 seconds. Because if you get caught without your repel, you're going to have a really bad time. So it's always about balancing that 20-second cooldown of repel. And, you know, having your cocoons on standby. The cocoons are like every 7 or 8 seconds. So when you use a repel, you pretty much have 2 cocoons before you need to repel again. So always keep that as a lifeline. So again, I'm just gauging if I should go in here. And this looks pretty good, so I'm going to chase it up. Then Graves does a nice gank. Great TP by Shen and Graves. I mean, Gregor, sorry. But yeah, you can see the versatility of Elise, and it's just so fun and rewarding when you play it correct. So I'm just getting an early back here. I try my best not to take my ADC's gold on towers. It's just better to give them the gold. Like I said, if they're really bad, take the gold, because you can snowball pretty easily with this pick. But as you can see here, I've got 5 assists. I'm not trying to take the kills. I'm trying to just play it as safe as possible. Get my not safe as possible, sorry. I'm trying to just play as eco-friendly as possible and help my team get the gold. Usually when you start getting to high elo anyway, the kills, you know, they can carry with them. But I know lower elo, sometimes it might be better to just take them and run wild with it. Also, I'm not afraid to get Medjai's. If you're on like 8 Dark Seal stacks and you're confident, go straight to Medjai's. Like, trust yourself and learn how to play that way. Now, the great thing about Elise is the roaming potential, and I've got, I think it's called water walking or river walking, whatever. It just allows me to play the river better and roam quicker. So as you see, I've managed to get another pick on Nami. Using that repel to get out. I'm just trying to gain control of these Void Grubs. They're so crucial in the early game, you know. And again, just playing aggressive because I know I can. One of the biggest mistakes I made here, though, was not having my repel ready. But I trusted my team, you know, so we made a good play on that. You can see Graves is really tilted because Nami can't really do much against me. You know, it's like having a second jungler, which is just the great thing about playing Elise support. It is literally a second jungler. And even if you're behind, you're just playing cocoons, you know, you're just trying to make stuns, be a nuisance. and you just build the exact same as well. You build like you were playing jungle. Early sorcerer boots if you can. Then you go into the little blue essence thing that's 850 gold. I forget its name. You know what I'm talking about, right? I'm pretty sure I buy it now. Oh, I went to Hextech. Hextech's fine too, but maybe just because I had enough gold. But I'll always try and go for the Wisp for movement speed, just to get around the map as much as possible. And I'm pretty sure I'm going straight back to lane, so yeah. This was recorded like 2 days ago. I just thought it was a nice game to show you guys. I do make one mistake and die at some point, but I'll show you that. So right here, I'm just going to try and sweep. Yeah, see if I can set up some plays. It's always nice as Elise. Here's where I made the mistake. Yeah, so I get the damage and I should have backed off there, but I decided to stay. And then I repelled down too early, which was another problem. I should have just done the free combo burst, which is your E into W and then Q. Or EQW, both's fine. And then you can back off in spider form. So that was my fault, to be honest. But again, like, you're doing these combos all the time, so you're going to make mistakes. It's just the game. And it still worked out okay for us, because Gragas was really good. He was actually great all this game, to be honest. Yeah, and then my punishment is to now go and look somewhere else to make some plays. Try and sit in spider form as much as possible as well, guys, and when you're traveling long distances just for the movement speed. But then you want to 3 or 4 seconds before the fight go back into human form. So as you can see, I can help out this Yo and took the kill, which was a bit, but it's alright. And there's Graves. I can see him. Shouldn't have threw that Q. But again, I'm just applying pressure and just being a nuisance. Like, as long as you have your repel and you're at locations where you can repel to anything, enemy wards, neutral plants you can repel to, anything like that, you're pretty much good to play as aggressive as you want. You can also, over like Rift Herald and Dragon Pits, you can repel to any of the plants there, so it's a good little way to know. When you're playing Elise, it's good to know like where your escape points are. And sometimes the enemy team grief and like set them up for you, putting wards over walls and stuff like that. So you repel, like take your time with it and use it as an escape method. And again here, I'm just coming back to be a nuisance. I think we end up killing this guy, I can't remember. But yeah, so as soon as the cocoon's there, EQ, W, spider form, Q as an execute, it's like a given. Now this is the best thing about Elise support, right? And not many people know. I don't know if it's like a bug, but the spiders count as individual champions hitting Rift Herald, which means that eye opens up much quicker. So as you can see, as support, I am melting this this Herald. And you can actually stay in spider form the whole time if you want to. And you just dance around it, keep hitting it with your basic attacks. And as a support, I've just melted down Rift Herald in like, what? I think that was like 15 seconds or something. And I didn't even have mana, which is just insane. So you're just creating plays around the map, which many supports couldn't make. And I pretty much run off with this game at this point. Just start, stacking kills, and I think the game finishes in like 20 minutes. I do know as well that I have like a good team. I'm very aware of that the team has been good this game. But I hope this shows you an example of how useful Elise support can be, and how she's just, right now in the meta, way more viable as support than she is jungle. You can still play a jungle, don't get me wrong, like she's great, but as you get into high elo, you'll start to realise that she's just getting outclassed by all the new champions. And again, just trying to be a nuisance. Do I die here? Oh, I don't. Okay. The repel was pretty risky. It's kind of like an Ezreal, if you're using it aggressively, you really need to know that you're going to be safe. So that was quite risky of me there. I don't know about that Herald chase. That was a weird decision. I'm just staying here. And again, look, because I've got my repel, I know that I can, like, take focus for one auto attack. Like, if Nasus tries to Q me, I can repel and dodge that. You can dodge so many abilities with repel, and it actually puts the opponent on cooldown. So, like, Syndra's ultimate, Ash Khan's ultimate, Caitlyn's ultimate, anything that's a projectile that's being fired, you want to take. Fizzle is another one. Carfusel. Your Repel denies so many abilities. It's insane. It's probably one of the most busted abilities in the game. It's 0 mana as well. It's so good. So there you go. I'm getting the Aether-Wisp. Building up for that Storm Surge, simply just for burst. I always build the same items, guys, as well. Like, always. You can't build Lichbane because of the support item. I would usually build that, but you can't with this support build. So I go straight for the Storm Surge. Then I go either Zhonya's or Shadow Flame. Zhonya's if I'm like, you know, I'm at that point where I really need some extra protection. Or Shadow Flame if I just want to nuke people. It really depends, but then I build all 3 of them regardless. And then I'll go into maybe Morello's, or what's the other item that I usually get? Blighting Jewel is viable as well. Anything like that is completely fine. So here I am just looking for a play. And now that I see Nami, I instantly want to go for it. I missed the Cocoon because I'm bronze. But again, it doesn't matter. And guys, this is like Diamond 2, Diamond 1 Elo, by the way, just to make you aware. Like, these games can be so easy if you play it like this. Elise just makes it so easy. Another tip is to try and just balance between human and spider form as much as possible. You can see the damage that I'm doing, and I'm not even landing all my skill shots. It's just insane. I always try and land my Cocoon a little bit ahead of them, because then they have to backstep it. And if they backstep it, most of the time it's fine anyway, because you're putting them back into your team, you know? So it's just about finding the right spots. And there we go, Cocoon. Pretty sure we don't get him here. Another great thing about Elise is support. I know I keep ranting on, but I'm just trying to throw as much valuable information here as possible. Is the, so again, look, I repel, soak it up. But the Spiderlings are like the best hook denier in the game. Like, Blitzcrank can't hook you, Pike can't hook you, Fresh can't hook you. As soon as they proc that hook, you go straight into spider form and walk away from them, and your spiders naturally go towards the hook and block it. It's like so busted. Yeah, it's perfect, honestly. I haven't really struggled with any supports just besides Seraphine for the wave clear, and she's just a disgusting champion anyway. But besides that, I've had no issues whatsoever. I'm surprised this isn't played more recently. I haven't seen it at all, which is such a shame because it's just so good right now. I think the only downside it really is also like knowing Elise's, like, you really need to know her mechanically to play her well. But with practice, like, you can be pulling off, look, the damage is insane for a support. And look, all my cooldowns are back in 4 seconds. I don't have an ultimate because I'm Elise, so it's like I can just keep repeating this as much times as possible. Here we are, we've opened the base. Just looking for a play on anybody. They're all quite squishy this game as well, besides Nasus, so we go straight to Baron. And like I said, guys, if you have any questions, please comment. You know, if you want me to teach how to play Elise, like how to do her mechanically, I'm more than happy to talk about her. I've played her for so long. She's one of my favorite champions, and she's insanely good if you know how to play her. And for solo queue specifically, she just has so much value. The only thing is you just have to be, you know, certain on them decisions. So yeah, I'm going for a Shadow Flame here. I can't remember if Zhonya's is also a needlessly large rod. But if it is, again, that's great, because you can just get the large rod, and then you can, you know, next back say, okay, do I want to go for the Shadow Flame, or do I want to go into the Zhonya's early flexibility? So yeah, we've only got like a minute and a half here, so it's pretty much wrapping up. Again, I'm just looking for picks in the enemy jungle, playing very aggressive here because I'm so ahead. At this point, I'm basically just a full-time second jungler, you know. I've got 25 Magi stacks. I'm running around rampant. See. Just floating around here. And it looks so easy, like, because it really isn't that difficult. As long as you mechanically learn how to play her. It's so basic. See, there's Twitch. Really nice cocoon, to be fair. And yeah, that's game, right? Pretty much game. Shen makes a very good play there. And we just finish it up. Simple as that. You see how like Nami can't do anything to like help her team. If she roams and she gets caught by me, it's just like having an Elise, you know, as an assassin, hunting her down, like. And she can stay with Twitch, but I've already done that much damage to her in the early game that Xayah can basically just 2v1 them at this point. I mean 1v2. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I know it's a bit of a mouthful and I talked, you know, fast, but I'm just trying to add as much value to you guys as possible. Let me know if you need anything else, and good luck playing Elise support. Have fun.